Three pivotal games over round 22 were in part decided by the most important stat in the AFL. Forget about contested possessions, intercept marks and inside 50s. It feels like the 2024 Premier will be the side who can most accurately kick for goal. Brisbane were up 31-1 against GWS on Saturday afternoon. It was a sizable lead, but they kicked 4 goals, 7 behinds, with a couple other misses during the first quarter. The lead really should have been 45 plus points, meaning GWS would have needed to reach historic levels to come back and win. For the game, Brisbane had the bottom 8 players for expected score, and all of them sat in the negative range. For the game, they kicked 8 goals 16, while GWS kicked 13 goals 4. The most telling of the three was Essendon against Gold Coast. The Bombers had kicked 11 goals and 5 behinds up until three-quarter time. They dominated the final term and had repeat inside 50s, and over 80% of the quarter played in their half of the ground. Their only problem was that they kicked 1 goal and 9 behinds. They had shot after shot, but that goal to get the lead over 2 goals just couldn't be kicked. And of course, the Suns, who did nothing all quarter, got one final play, and Mac Andrew took a great mark. He kicked the goal and gave the Suns their first away win in 2024. The final game where goal kicking had a say was in the final game of the round. Now Adelaide were in control for 90% of the match, but the Bulldogs' inaccuracy meant no comeback could be conjured. You need goals for momentum. They kicked 9 goals 18, now 7 of them were rush behinds, but the set shot goal kicking was still poor. Sam Darcy dominated up forward, except for his 1 goal and 5 behinds and 1 total miss. On the other side, Adelaide were sharpshooters with 17 goals from just 43 inside 50s. Their efficiency was off the charts. So let's try to get a real perspective on the importance of goal kicking. How about the ranking of the last 5 premiers? Well, it's a bit of a mixed bag. You might think all of them were at least top 5, but it's not the case. Collingwood in 2023 were first with an accuracy of 52.5%. Geelong in 2022 were 5th with a 50.1% goal conversion percentage. However, Melbourne in 2021 were just 14th at 45.6%. The 2020 Richmond side was 7th at just 48%, and the 2019 Tigers were 3rd, but still their conversion was just at 49%. Things get interesting. 2016 and 2017 saw the Western Bulldogs and Richmond both finish bottom 4 for goal accuracy in their premiership seasons. But before those 2 years, the three-peat Hawks were first every year and never dipped below 50% in 2013, 14 and 15. So I think from this we can gather goal accuracy is still important, but in a season's totality, it clearly isn't the be-all and end-all. On grand final day itself, 8 out of the last 10 premiers did kick more goals than behinds, with the only exceptions being Collingwood last year and West Coast in 2018. So at this point in 2024, where do the AFL clubs rank? Well, in the top 8 for goal accuracy, only 3 of the actual top 8 teams are in there. It's GWS, who is 2nd with 54.5%, Sydney, who is 5th with 51.7%, and 6 is Geelong, who are at a 51.6% for goal accuracy. Number 1 is North Melbourne, who are kicking at a very impressive percentage of 56.6%. In fact, if North Melbourne keep this percentage up, it will be the second most accurate goal kicking season since 2012. The only team better was the Hawks in 2014, who toppled the 57% marker. The bottom of the accuracy list in 2024 is surprisingly Port Adelaide, who are going at 42.8% in front of goal. It's 1 percentage point worse than Richmond, who sits second last. Brisbane and Hawthorn sit 13th and 12th respectively, despite their great run of form, and the other side who has struggled of late is the Bulldogs, who are 15th. The goal accuracy for all 18 clubs combined is 49.2%, up 1.2% on the 2023 season. So who are the players in this season that can actually be trusted when it matters most? If we use the 49.2% marker as the total average for the league, it gives a great perspective on who is going above that rate and who is going below it. But we'll start with the dead eyes. The three clear standouts from the top 20 goal kickers are Jesse Hogan, Josh Tracy and Nick Larkey. Hogan's 61 goals are impressive to this point, and he's been so consistent this season. Now his funny run-up looks awkward, but works for him. He's going at 67% in front of goal, a great number, especially for a player who gets as many shots as he does. Josh Tracy has kicked 45 goals in his 20 games, being Fremantle's most important player forward of the ball. He is actually ahead of Hogan and the only one in the top 20 goal kickers to be above 70%. His goal kicking rate is 71.4%. And Nick Larkey is the main reason North as a whole have a great percentage. He's been a good kick most of his career, and his 67.2% rate proves it. He simply pops the ball in his boot and eases it in. Cody Waitman, Brad Close and Will Haywood are all over 60%, which is important as small forwards. And Darcy Fogarty, Jacob Van Rooyen and Jake Waterman are the other big forwards who are 10% above league average. So who are the main culprits hurting their team? At the Hawks, it's their dynamic duo in Nick Watson and Jack Ginnivan. Watson's 12 goals come from 28.6% in front of the sticks, and surprisingly, Ginnivan's 23 goals come from just 37.1% accuracy. They are still playing well, but you never know. In a big final, their goal kicking could become costly. The two worst culprits from the top 20 are no real surprise. The worst is Jamara Ugle-Hagan and a lowly 41.7%. He has slightly improved on last year, but his whole routine looks dodgy and can be hard to watch at times. It has nowhere near the rhythm of Nick Larkey or the balance of Jesse Hogan. It's just about the only thing holding him back and is hurting the Bulldogs. At 44.1% is Joe Danaher. As time has progressed, he does feel like a safer kick, but he can still be sporadic. He does take more difficult shots than a lot of other forwards, which may also contribute to his low percentage. Other star players who have struggled include Nick Dacos, who sits at 40% in front of goal, Errol Goulden for such a great kick is at the same percentage, and Connor Rozee for all his class is at 34.4% for his return of 11 goals. The magic of goal kicking can come and go. Having a good routine is critical, but no doubt between the years is where the big challenge lies. If you work on it too much, it can cause players to overthink, while not working on it enough can leave players feeling like they have no process to follow. Goal kicking will decide important games to come in 2024, and the teams and players that can keep their composure the best will have an edge.